I hate horror movies, especially body horror. But I've seen so many videos of people talking about this movie in TikTok, so that fueled my interest. I finally gave in and decided to watch it, to see if it's really as good as everyone says it is.
I found the movie very disturbing because it created that feeling of terror.
Craziest movie that they've shown in a couple of years at least.
This movie felt very unique for the genre that we haven't seen before or haven't really seen in a while.
Weirdest film of the year in the best possible way.
The story begins with a star being installed for Elizabeth Sparkle at the Walk of Fame. She's a popular actress, but as time goes on, her career and her youth are on the wane. If only we could all look like Demi Moore at 60. Lisa is the host of some kind of sports show, but in reality, people only watch it for girls' bodies. Another workday ends, and the crew congratulates her on her birthday. This triggers her a little, but things get even worse when she has to use the men's restroom. It's such a laminar atmosphere, like she's about to end up in the back rooms. Her boss, Harvey, enters the men's restroom while on the phone, demanding in a formal manner that Elizabeth be replaced with a young rising star. Without even washing his hands, he leaves. His words deeply hurt Lisa. Her self-esteem goes down and her insecurities increase. I feel bad for her. A gross version of Jeremy Fragrance tells Lisa that he needs fresh blood for his show. This whole scene shows all of his disgustingness through the editing. I will say this up front, I really liked the editing in this film. It was so good that some moments warmed my heart. Coraline enters night nurse van through a car accident.
A few moments later.
Doctor checks her out and says she's fine and let her go. Despite this, the younger doctor continues to examine her, saying that she is the perfect candidate. Already on the street, she realizes someone slipped a flash drive in her pocket labeled The Substance, along with the phone number. Her awful birthday continues at home. Lisa plugs the flash drive into her TV and watches a promo video.
Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
She ends up throwing the drive away and forgetting about it. I really liked how in just 15 minutes of the movie, they were shown the emotions of loneliness, pain, career and life decline, and how dirty and disgusting show business is. In the evening, she goes out to celebrate her birthday, but it only worsens her mental state. She finally decides to call the number and get the substance. The next morning, recovering from the effects of alcohol, she reads a newspaper article about auditions for her role. She is angry until she receives a key. Lisa follows the address and retrieves a young experimenter's kit from the mailbox. Later that evening, it looked like I have to censor quite a lot. The full version of this video can be found here. Elizabeth conducts the experiment, and from her back emerges a younger version of herself, more censored. See you. She's very excited about her new body. So, how substance works? Two people, but they essentially one, so one character for two. Every 7 days, they have to switch bodies, otherwise there will be irreversible consequences. The younger version needs to extract some kind of fluid from the original every day to remain stable and avoid falling apart. The next morning, Sue heads to the audition. Harvey is delighted to see fresh blood and gives her the role. The week flies by and it's time to switch again. Elizabeth returns to work, where Harvey hands her belongings back and even gives her a birthday gift. Her week goes by even faster, since she doesn't have much to do anymore. And so comes the week for Sue, who surprisingly turned out to be a skilled worker and created an extra room in the bathroom for herself and Elizabeth while they lay unconscious. Sue continues building her career and a personal life, but at the cost of Elizabeth's well-being. Every 2 weeks, Elizabeth is provided with food supplies for herself and Sue. However, if the food runs out, body starts consuming itself, accelerating aging. Sue ignores this rule for her own fun, causing Lisa's finger to age, This causes her to become very worried, but she finds the strength to call a man who finds her beautiful to set up a date.
And grab a drink.
She prepares, but every time she doesn't like herself, constantly comparing herself to Sue. Because of this, she can't bring herself to leave the house. Sue wakes up from a nightmare and notices that Elizabeth is starting to act gross. Frustrated, she calls the creators of the substance to complain, hoping they can fix the situation. However, they remind her that they are essentially the same person. So Elizabeth is jealous of Sue for being young, and Sue is angry because old lady is ruining a possible great career for her. So she's basically a victim and abuser. And if a toxic relationship is going on between only one person, it's called mental health issues. Harvey claims that Sue will be the new superstar because with her the show's rating have skyrocketed, and invites her to host the New Year's Eve show, which will be in 3 months. Thrilled by the opportunity, Sue begins ignoring the precautionary rules, avoiding the body swapping ritual with Elizabeth. This causes Lisa to age very quickly. Desperate, Lisa calls the substance office to complain, but she gets the same answer, that she and Sue are the same person. However, the company offers to stop and leave things as they are now, but it would mean destroying Sue. That same night, Elizabeth decides to cook dinner while watching Sue's latest interview. Nicely edited scene, good acting, and this is best scene of the movie that sets a clear boundary. Before this, the movie felt like a Lana Del Rey song, Young and Beautiful, but from here on, it's gonna be a real chaotic hell. Sue is disgusted by the mess Elizabeth has made and refuses to let it continue. She takes an extra dose of the stabilizing liquid from Elizabeth, intending to delay the body swap for long. After 3 months, Sue thrives. She created a great career, has gotten ready for the New Year's Eve show, and even begins a relationship. However, her stabilizing liquid runs out and her body starts to break down. She needs to be stabilized, but the liquids from the original are gone. Forced to act, Sue contacts the creators of the substance, who explain that the only way to acquire more liquid is to swap places with Elizabeth. Left with no choice, she switches places. Elizabeth is now a real old grandma. Now she fucking appreciates how beautiful she was.
What have I done?
She wants to end the experience, and the next day receives a syringe that could destroy her young copy. Midway through the process, she hesitates and decides to swap places instead, but this only makes things worse, because now both versions are conscious. Sue, realizing Elizabeth tries to erase her, attacks in a desperate fight for survival. Who are you basing on? It actually doesn't matter, it's basically the same person. Sue wins and gets ready for tonight's show, but after some time she starts literally falling apart.
So smile!
Back home, she decides to inject herself with the substance to avoid death. But instead of saving her, the experiment backfires horribly. She created a monster, and it's fucked up. The monster heads to the New Year's show, where the audience try to kill it. I honestly don't get that bloody scene. I mean, what the fuck is the point of it? In the end, the monster form of Sue Elizabeth reaches its star on the Walk of Fame. Looking up at the stars, it disappears. So what the fuck did I just watch? The concept of the film is very interesting, and its execution was great for about the first hour or two maybe. I especially want to highlight the visuals. The film shows more than it tells, which is a nice touch. Also the sound design was fascinating. But the last 30 minutes were pure hell. I literally started to feel sick. And I still have to edit this. Oh god. Anyway, the movie was neither bad nor good. So this movie is where, Emily? Right. Art, creativity should evoke emotions. And I definitely experienced a wide range of disgust. Thanks. But now, I need to relax and catch my breath, so I'm going to watch piece by piece.